Now we can start adding the scar and some scratch marks or dry wounds on the tiger. We can see that we can start doing that using the ST map and the 2D tracking. Let's see how to do that. I have a smart vector here. I can use this. For that, I will just simply take a vector distort. So this will go to the smart vector data that we have. I'll just copy this, connect it here, and grab this guy. And source thing will be the image element that we're going to use as a scar or as a scratch. For example, if I take a roto paint and use this as a element, I'll take this, connect this image to the source, and then smart vector to the smart vector data that we have. If we read that, you can see this smart vector data. Now how to use this element using this smart vector. Let's merge it on the tiger. Now let's play it. It's going with that. So simply it's grabbing the source data that is our image, and then using the ST map, it's tracking onto that object or moving object. Now the smart vector is set on the first frame. That's why we don't have to do any position or any kind of changes in the smart vector. But for example, if your image is set on the 50th or 100th frame, like let's remove this and see, and now you can see that it's not on the same frame, it's changing the shape because of the smart vector. For that, if your image is set on 98th frame, so make sure that in the vector distort node your set frame is set to 98. So now you can see that scar is connected there. I can just simply move it and play it now. So using this we can add some scars. Let's do that. I'll go to the first frame. I have this image of lion having some scars on his face. Let's rotate these scars and use them as an element. I just rotate this area and using this as a mask. Let's reformat it now. Now I'm not going to directly use this using the smart vector. First I will just set it on the single frame. Somewhat like this is good. I'm going to use this scar for multiple times and just populate it here on the nose because I don't just want to keep it one here. Let's use one more time somewhere here. Yeah, something like this, good. I'm going to break it a bit. Let's use a stencil and a noise. Let's make a stencil and break this scar. Let's use a gray to make that mask. Okay, something like this is fine. Okay, let's clean this up. I just cleaned up my script and I used this scar for one more time and just scaled it and used it on the nose again just to populate the scar marks. So you can see now it's like this. This is set on first frame. Let's use the smart vector. Now let's set this to first frame and let's play it. You can see that it gives some kind of slide on the nose. Let's change these values. And that's sticking well by just changing the values. You can also use the Mocha tracker. I'm going to use Mocha tracker if that is not working, but in this case it's working already. So let's skip that. We have this thing done now. Let's see how to integrate these scar marks. I have a simple technique for that. What I will do is I'll just take one merge node, connect A to the scar element and connect B to the plate or the tiger plate. Now set this to geometric. We have this kind of blended thing already. For the grading, I'll just use a key mix and remove this merge. Let's connect A to the geometry and this mask simply to the element mat. This. So now if I turn this on and off, you can see, and now I can do the grading as well. I'll just simply go here before the track and do some grading. Make it a quite dark. Something like this is good. We have the scar marks now, which already looks fine. We can make some changes on this letter, but you can integrate that by doing the grading or anything, or I'll simply just add one more grade here and make the tweaks. That's quite good. Let's move to the next part. I'm going to add some fresh blood mark here on the face or like a wound or something. Let's add that. For that, I have one more image. I'm going to blur that image since that image is with the blood. I'm not going to show it on the YouTube. I have this blood element. I'm going to rotate quickly. I took only this part. Let's merge this guy on the tiger first and do the color grading and the position. Yeah, that's good. I'll take a grid drop. I'll simply use this. Okay, something like this is good. Let's do some color fixes. This is too saturated. I'll take down the saturation, contrast, and overall gain, and do some grading as well on these areas, like it's too less bright. Okay, so I simply did some grading and some color tweaks and some position enhancement, and this is what we have now. I want to add some kind of details around the wound, so I'll just simply go and do some grading to create that edge details here. I'll take a grade node. I'll connect the mask to the alpha of this wound, and I'll just do some grade here. Now we can see that it's not reading well. Let's take an erode, make it RGBA, and something like this is good. Now we need to track this guy, so I'll just use the same technique. I will just use this vector distort, grab it here and connect it to the source and connect the STMap to the STMap. Let's play and see. Perfect, that's going with the tiger. Now let's make the naming convention because it looks confusing now which one is which. Now I want to add some blood on the face of the tiger, and using the STMap and some noise we can add that, but we can add it somewhere here in the top area. For that I can use a simple noise structure here. Let's use a noise structure. Let's take a grid node, connect it to the plate and make it red. Okay, we have like this now. I'll use this noise as a mask. We have this kind of mask and using the noise pass, and let's merge it back to the plate. Play with this scale of the mask or noise, and then make the matte harder. Go to this and RGBA, and let's keep the values like this, somewhat like this. We can rotate the noise area and choose as much as we want. Let's play with this size. Big. Okay, this kind of texture I wanted. I'm going to keep it like this, and it looks too saturated. Let's reduce the saturation, the contrast and the gamma overall. Let's make it 0.8. This red is good, and reduce the contrast. This is quite good, and then I will remove some of the green from the gain. We have this kind of patterns now. I can simply do a roto mask, just simply use one more mask and choose the areas or the face regions that you want. I can use somewhat like this. I'm going to use somewhere here. I just don't want to make it look very clean. Now I can use the STMap again, vector distort, and drag this guy on that. So simply go to and copy this, use vector distort node again, connect it to this source, make sure it's connected to source, and now we set our noise on this frame 50 first. I'll just make sure that this is set here, and also I'll keep it to. It looks good. So this is the basic idea. Let's clean up this thing here and make a backdrop to read it well. Now we have this color grade on the tiger, we have this blood patches on the face, we have the dry scar and this wound. I think this shot is coming well now, and the background. Let's go to the next part. We can add some snow on the body. I can either use the STMap or we can do some 2D tracking. Since the body is moving a lot, we have some fur. I'm going to use the 2D tracker or Mocha tracking to use the snowflakes on the body. So let's learn how to do that.